AITA? I kicked my husband's sister and her daughter out of my mother's funeral. My mother passed 20 days ago. I'm a mess. I can barely keep up with work as well as taking care of my younger sisters who are heavily grieving. Before I talk about what went down at the funeral, I'll talk about my husband's older sister. 44. She's like a mother to him. His mother died when he was 8, so his sister basically raised him. Me and her don't agree on many things. She can be disrespectful and rude. She tries to boss me around and gets involved in my marriage a lot. She has a daughter, niece, that she uses or trains to do nasty things to me. Like when she had her daughter ruin my car paint. Or when she had her hide my jewelry. Or when she caused me an argument with my husband by lying saying I banned her from her uncle's house. She's 17, so at this point she's not a kid and should be aware of her mother is doing, but they both equally disrespect me, so I'm not surprised. My sil came to mother's funeral and brought her daughter who was wearing inappropriate outfit and kept acting mean while me and my sisters were crying. I remember Sil was sitting loudly laughing with her daughter and playing with their phones, and then both started eating during the burial service. I was getting mad, but I ignored them. Until my niece's phone started playing the "Ding Dong, the witch is dead." My sisters heard it several times. I walked up to her to ask about it and she said it was just a ringtone. I asked her if she thought this was appropriate. But my sil got involved and told me it was no big deal, then asked me for a charger so they could finish the video they were watching. I kid you not, I absolutely lost it on them both. I yelled at my sil to take her daughter and leave. My brother-in-law, her husband, came to talk to me, but I blatantly told him to take his family and leave. And where's my husband? Sitting watching while I argued with almost his entire family as they tried to get me to let it go. I refused to let them stay for a minute and demanded they leave or get security involved. That's when my husband got involved. I told him he could leave too if he kept defending them. They left and everyone was watching. I felt so awful, and when I returned to my mother's house, my husband started arguing, saying that his niece is a kid and whatever she did I should've discussed this issue privately, not make a joke out of them, and kicking his sister out. Then threatened to kick him out as well? In front of everyone? He said I was looking for an excuse to disrespect his sister and his niece, and what better excuse than my mother's funeral, right? That's what he said. He said I was at fault here to think that I could mistreat his sister and niece and kick them out. Then expect to get a free pass cause my mother is dead. Basically claiming I messed up and ruined my own mother's funeral. He called me a piece of work, then headed out. That's all that's happened. The family apologized on their behalf. NTA. Your husband's comments are appalling, and defending anyone who plays "Ding Dong, the witch is dead" at a funeral is beyond outrageous. They all are giant assholes. If my husband defended his family doing something like that at my mom's funeral, I'd be gone. NTA. My blood went cold with rage at the thought of that ringtone playing at the funeral. I'm so incredibly sorry for the loss of your mother and your husband's nightmare of a family. Ruining it. Thankfully, your mother's love and legacy will continue to live on untarnished in her children. But it may be time to kick husband to the curb. NTA. Leave the husband. He's a big of an a-hole as sil and niece. He treats you like garbage and doesn't out his sister in check. In top of that, what they did at your mother's funeral is unforgivable, especially your husband. Seriously, get rid of the husband. NTA. Get rid of the husband. NTA. Niece is 17. She's not a clueless child and she really should know that playing "Ding Dong, The witch is dead at someone's actual funeral is beyond unacceptable and cruel. Your husband is also in awe for defending this behavior. He should have been supporting you at your mom's funeral. Your husband is the asshole and weak as fuck. His family are asshole. Go to Just Know So and Just Know Family. They have advice for dealing with crappy people. Also ban them from your house indefinitely. That's a boundary you need to stick to. Hubby can see them somewhere else. That's just gross. They would do that. I hope you hubby is sleeping on the couch. He sucks big time. What a loser. NTA. But they aren't your problem. Your husband is. Is this what you want the rest of your life to look like? NTA. This pissed me off so much I had to take a minute before responding. Personally, I'd be done with your husband for not defending me in the moment. The niece was being a brat and deliberately disrespectful, and her mother is no better. And to say you're in the wrong for getting angry? Yep. He'd be out of my house to stay with his sister and niece. NTA. Holy shit. Get rid of your husband. He deserves to sit over there with his shitty sister. An equally shitty niece. He's a real piece of work himself. NTA. But you have a husband problem. He is allowing his sister to disrespect you during your time of need. To make matters worse is that he is taking his sister's side. And the gall's on him to spin this around and get upset at you. Does he not understand your mother died and the last thing you need is rudeness from his family? NTAOMG. Leave this baby man. He should go be daddy to his baby niece and take care of his sister then. He obviously cares more about their feelings than his grieving wife. NTA. Absolutely. It should have been your husband who scolded and kicked them out, but then again, not surprised since that's where he came from. So sorry for your loss and this very blatant disrespect you're dealing with. I hate when commenters on here jump to divorce him. Quote. But it's really clear that this man has no respect for you as his wife. Or as a grieving human being. NTA. Your Sil and her daughter are the ones who made fools of themselves. They knew exactly what they were doing. And at a funeral too, of all times. Your Sil will continue to go out of her way to undermine your relationship with your husband. And it may escalate now that you've addressed her horrendous behavior publicly. About your husband. This dynamic is a very familiar one if you ever visit RJUSTNOMIL. His sister has him wrapped around her little finger. I would be enraged that he continues to defend his sister. Despite her terrible behavior. Even at your own mother's funeral. He should have been the one to kick them out. Not you. In fact, in all of your interactions with your Sil, your husband is the one who should be responsible for enforcing boundaries. The fact that he won't, and won't even recognize that he needs to, would be a deal breaker in my marriage. He should be on your side, in your court, supporting you and protecting you from all of this nonsense. Offer to go to therapy to work out these issues. And if he refuses, what are you even doing with him? You got a raw deal in the loss of your mom. You would have been better off losing that other family. Don't wait. Do it now. Then find a partner that cares about you. NTA. First of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. Second, your Sil and the daughter are two disgusting humans, and your husband is an idiot for taking their side. I will never understand how someone can be so mean to someone else who hasn't done anything to them. Especially when someone is grieving. You should cut them out of your life. And have a talk with your supposed-to-be husband. His behavior is not okay. NTA. Edit. Spelling. They went to a fucking funeral and started laughing and watching videos on the phone and had the UDACITY to act offended when called out. After letting their nasty behavior slide at first. Which is totally fair since you were rightfully mooring. How someone in their right mind would think that you are the NTA. The husband is so in the wrong as well. Also. Sorry for your loss. NTA. Sounds like she's trying to turn your husband against you and is succeeding. At 17 you're not really a child and are aware of what you're doing and saying. Ask yourself if these are the type of people you want in your life because they are toxic. I'm really sorry for your loss. I hope that things get better for you. NTA. This literally makes me want to cry thinking of being in this situation at my father's funeral. I would have lost it completely and then immediately filed for divorce. I'm so sorry they have all been so horrible during your grieving. And I hope you and your sisters have much better days coming. NTA, they were behaving appallingly. I'm sorry you had to go through that NTA. If your husband is always this unsupportive, I would dump him too.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.